that it's like now you know, like the clean girl,
The clean
white
girl
girl
aesthetic.
Yeah, and it's literally just them not wearing makeup.
Literally, like, revolutionary shit.
Yeah,
right here.
yeah.
And then also our traditional like slick back with the bun or the slick back with the braid.
So you're saying
and
that
the gold
the slick
jewelry.
back bun outside of South Asian culture never existed in any other culture?
I don't know, but I can
Definitely
only...
not white people.
It's definitely
Because I
something
think
not,
Asian
yeah.
people did it
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But I feel like white people, you're right, never did.
They
Like,
always just have their straight hair down.
Yeah.
Or like the braids, like the medieval, like
Yeah.
curls
yeah,
and stuff.
true,
But
yeah.
you never saw, or like a bun, but never slick back, I don't think. Like you can't imagine like those corset Victorian gowns.
with a bun.
With a
Yes.
slick
Yeah.
back bun. Yeah.
And okay, what do you need to get the slick back? You need oil, you need
Oil.
gel. So where did
They
that
didn't
start
have
from?
that
Exactly.
shit. Yeah,
No.
that's
We
so
oil our
true.
hair, that's how we have it. you know?
Exactly.
Because even for me to do this, I had to put a gel.
Yeah,
That's so
100%.
And
That's so real.
it's like in our culture to put
Yes.
all these like, you know,
Yeah.
treatments into our hair.
We would put
Yeah.
amla, we would put coconut oil.
Yes.
You know, our grandmas
And
would
now
massage
there's-
it into our head. Like, it's so rooted in our culture. And I think the thing that triggers me the most about it is because growing up, like that, and I think this is a universal experience for brown girls. It's like my parents would amla my hair every single day. They would amla my hair. They would like massage my scalp and then put my hair in a plait.
Yeah.
And they would send me to school.
Yeah.
And like, and you know, you remember like getting bullied for things like that when you're young, you know, and like now seeing it come back in and like
Yeah.
seeing
girls.
the 180 is crazy. And I think the thing that really frustrates me is the lack of like appreciation of our culture. Like I think when people I think there's something particularly about it coming from South Asian culture that really doesn't bode well with people acknowledging that that's where it comes from, because and this is gonna sound like, you know, but like if you're taking something from black culture, you know, people are so quick
It's because we don't bite back.
we
Yeah.
don't bite back.
People
It's
bite
because
back.
we don't bite back. And I
Yeah.
think people are so used to us just allowing things and not having
passive.
a voice, being passive, that it's gotten to a point now where I think we've had enough, and I think we're actually starting to stand up for ourselves as a collective.
Yeah.
so.
And it's really not sitting well with people. So all of the justifications are coming out.
Yeah.
All of the justifications. Oh no, it's not. We're not taking from your culture. We're appreciating it. Scandinavian scarves
Oh
have
my
existed for
gosh.
time.
Oh yeah, it's
Like,
always been around.
babe.
Who are you
Literally.
kidding?
Who are you,
You know, I just
kidding?
recently I've been like learning so much about history, and one of the facts that I learnt is that prior to World War One, pre-colonial India contributed to 23% of the world's GDP, and post-colonial India, post World War One, because the empire, like the British Empire, like up-leveled themselves at the expense of all of their colonies. So at the end of World War One, they dropped to 4% of the world's GDP. So from 23 to 4%. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So they deindustrialized India. They industrialized themselves at the expense of India, which was already booming with industry and contributing like spices and silks and fabrics and tea and like just everything came from India.
And they and India has never recovered. At pre-colonization, they were the center of the world in terms of trade, textiles. Everything went through India, from India. They were a global power. And like they ravaged us. That's what they did. And we never
now
recovered.
you're still paying
We're
for
still
it.
paying for it, and we're not even just paying for it economically, but the people are paying for it. Like we see it in our on the streets, and like even like I don't know if you guys have heard, this is a whole other story, this is a whole other conversation, but like people talk about how like brown bodies, like the girls can't get rid of their like fupa, and you know they have like a diabetic frame.
Fupa is
like
like,
it's like
is it Pufa? pussy upper fatty
Fat-
area.
Yeah,
I don't know.
fat
fupa.
upper pussy area.
Yeah,
Like,
it's your lower belly.
Yeah, like your little
But that's
pooch.
normal.
Yeah.
Because we have to have a layer of fat protecting our womb.
Yeah.
Right?
but
And you also, I remember you told me a
go,
long
go,
time
go.
ago that also from like our ancestors eating so much rice, like
Yeah,
it carries
maybe.
down
Maybe,
onto
yeah.
us, and that's why we naturally have it, and it's something that
Yeah.
The white
is,
girls
if
don't
anything,
have it
yeah,
kind
the
of
white
thing.
girls
Yeah.
don't have
We
it, but
have it.
if anything, it's like an honor to have, you know,
God.
because we have such a
Steven
big
loves
history.
mine. He
Oh.
kisses it all the time. He's always just like, hand on
I
it.
love
Yeah.
that. But the reason I bring it up is because even like the way our bodies are built, and the way that we kind of hold on, like the way our bodies operate, are a direct have a direct correlation to the famine that they put us through, and the fact that our bodies were like forced to survive. Our bodies, even after all these, like after generations and generations, our bodies are still built in survival mode. And that's why our
That's why they
body
hold on to
operates.
the fat,
That's why
because they're like,
hold
we don't
on
know
to
when you're
it.
gonna need it in the future in case another famine comes up.
Exactly.
So we need to store some fat.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, and it's because of the famine, and it's because of what the British did and what they put us through. Like we are still dealing with that, and look at us in this day and age, living our best lives, having nothing to do with famine, still having to deal with the ongoing effects of that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Wow. Actually, Mario had this really crazy theory. It was from one of his friends that got it from somewhere else. But it's basically like, why white people, like why are they the ones that did all the bad things? For context, Mario is this beautiful black Frenchman that I was seeing. And he was like, the reason is because if you think about it, where we're from, you know, like people with melanin or people, just colored people in general, where we're from, our lands are abundant. We never have to worry about getting food because we could just pick a coconut or a mango off of a tree.
So true.
Yes.
Historically speaking, we were always abundant. Our soils are rich. We lived in like tribes and families, and we were together, communal societies. But then up where it's cold, where the white people are from, they don't have abundance. So they only have like meat and potatoes, and they have to hunt for things. So they're the hunter gatherers, and so they had to like they had to be isolated from each other to compete for like the scarce goods, which is why they were individualistic societies, and they had to like collect as much as they can and hibernate and like stuff like that. And because they're like competing for the small amount of food that is there, and they have to like physically go hunt for it and stuff like that, and also the cold contributes to like this depression, so they're like predisposed genetically to depression and like seasonal depression because it's cold. And so then they end up becoming just cold and resentful in their personalities. They're not fruitful and warm and abundant like we are, like even just personality wise. And so that's why, because they didn't have enough food and it's cold, they have to go elsewhere to find more food. So they have to come to our countries and our lands
And take from us.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I like it makes sense, babe.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like not surprised.
No,
Yeah.
it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And I just think our like we as like you said, like we're such a collectivist community. Like we have such a strong sense of community. We look after our people. We operate better as a unit. Like they don't like that. You know what I mean? So naturally you want to take from people that have such a strong sense of community and a strong sense of us. Not me. You know what I mean?
Also like I feel like black people bite back, but then you see like Latin or Japanese people, they don't bite back, but they're already like so connected to their culture and they rep their culture. That like Latin dance is called Latin dance, and if you go to Latin dance, it doesn't make a Latin person feel insecure because they're already so culturally like assimilated within their own culture, and they're so proud that like, you know, you take karate class, it doesn't, everyone knows that there's a respect, and
Yes.
everyone knows that that's Japanese. Like you can't, even if you tried, you couldn't culturally appropriate Latin dance or karate
Yeah.
Because it
or
is
like
what
a
it
martial
is.
arts. Yes,
Yeah.
but we've never taken that ownership. And I think it's not that it's it's like our fault, but like we've been resistant to being proud of our culture and repping it in these Western societies.
Yeah.
So obviously when a white person reps it, because the foundation of representation isn't already there, we feel insecure. But now we're like all finally like,
Yeah,
you know,
finally
like I
proud.
think I see like, you know, the younger generation that's like in school now, like those brown kids, like so proud, and like they're repping it because they're like, this is actually cool. Like our culture's cool, and it's cool to be connected to your culture. It makes it different. It makes it like something that other people don't have, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more that we do that, the less they can't appropriate something that's like so solid, you know?
Yes.
That's true.
I think that's like I feel like that has a lot to do with, like you said, like it's a generational thing. I think our parents, we're like, a lot of us like first generation, you know, Australian Indian, Australian Sri Lankan, like we're first generation born here. And I think having, or second generation, our parents now, or our grandparents came here, and it was very much like it was very much a sense of assimilate and blend in, do whatever needs to be done to be accepted, be accepted into society, and build yourself up from there. And a lot of that unfortunately carried, like, with that came a lot of shame, because we were assimilated, because they wanted to assimilate. We had to drop a part of ourselves, leave a part of ourselves at the door. And a lot of that ideology was like passed on to like our parents, and like you know, probably unconsciously passed on to us, you know. And I think particularly our generation, we've kind of grown up in a funny time where we've been raised with these ideals, but because of the world we're living in now, we're like clocking onto a lot of things,
we're
and
breaking out of that.
we're breaking
the
cycles.
And then our kids are gonna be like,
Yes,
really proud, hopefully.
They're
Not whitewashed, hopefully.
They're this new empowered generation. We've broken generational curses. We've switched we've flipped the script and like changed the narrative, because we've just realizing things. We're just realizing things, girls.
I love that. I love that.
So much. Mic drop.
Mic drop.